At least it's better than Superman, I guess. Who am I kidding? Gotcha.
Sit the fuck down.
What am I looking at?
What's good, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Ronald's Diversion. I just came back from seeing Fantastic Four, and all I gotta say is okay. Okay. That's nice, Jerry. Okay. First of all, I like to start off by saying this movie was better than Superman. I didn't have PTSD, okay. I was fine with whatever was thrown at my face, which I'm gonna talk about, but I don't know if the movie was enjoyable to its fullest. I'm gonna use that word, okay. At times I felt bored. You know what I mean? I really did. And the action was disappointing, and the character build up, especially with Galactus and Silver Surfer. All right. Now, y'all, please just bear with me, okay? I don't fully remember everything that happened, all right, but I'll try to recall most of it, okay? So the movie starts up with some sort of cartoony looking introduction. They taking us back to the 1980s, bro. That's the vibe, okay? And again, it's not a bad thing. It's just I don't know if it works in this modern times. You know what I mean? Some people like that, some people don't. So we see the Fantastic Four helping the city, fighting villains. That was interesting, the way they displayed the powers. Pretty good. The CG, yeah, some parts were questionable, okay? I felt like some parts were like, okay, that just looks really weird. But overall, it was okay, nothing really stood out to me, to be honest. I think the way Johnny's power worked, I don't understand. Whenever it goes flame on, he's wearing like just clothing and it doesn't burn. I don't know if it's Reed Richards that gave him all those resistible fibers that can't take the flame. I don't know, man, but it just felt a little bit strange that his clothes don't burn up. So the movie starts up with just the F4 doing their thing, saving lives, being a family, which was cute. You've seen that in the trailer, I don't gotta tell you. And then we jumped right to Silver Surfer. Okay, now to be honest, I didn't care about the F family. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. I didn't really care much. I was more invested in Silver Surfer and Galactus because I felt like the pacing was just long on the F4 family. Which again, some of y'all would defend it and say, "Well, the movie's about Fantastic Four. What you expect?" I know, buddy. I know, but we get it, man. We get it. Their family, they're just living their lives. Sue is pregnant. Blah 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 blah. We know, but we need to get to the main point, okay? So Silver Surfer came to the Earth. I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus. You seen that in the trailer? That was the first introduction of Silver Surfer. Now I'm gonna be honest. I think the lady that played Silver Surfer, she did a good job. When I watched that trailer, I didn't really feel much emotion, but man, she really showed that, bro. And the way she moved, the way she displayed her powers, that was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so Silver Surfer came in, gave them the one, and got a goofy ass back to space or back to Galactus. All right. Now, it was kind of similar to the way, Fantastic Four, Part Two, the original. It was very similar, the way the story played out. Like, the Silver Surfer coming down to the Earth and warning the people, and then Galactus came and they tried to stop it. The story follows that same path. It's just for this one, the difference is just basically Franklin Richards is literally part of the conversation now, which we're gonna get to. I don't really understand who Franklin Richards is. I don't, like I said, I know him briefly in the comics, but I heard he has cosmic power. He can reshape realities. Yeah, that's interesting, but it wasn't really. Yeah, I didn't really go deep into that. Galactus just made some little comment on Mr. Franklin or Baby Franklin, and that was it. Okay, Silver Surfer went back to Galactus, obviously, and then the F4 family, decided to go after her and go speak with this Galactus because they didn't really know what Galactus was. All right, now they went to space, flew back, went to the world of Galactus. First introduction of Galactus, bro. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This motherfucker was scary as hell. I said, bro, you are scaring the shit out of me. I like this. Give me more. The voice of Galactus was okay. You know, I didn't really think that it was a problem. The CG on Galactus, it was okay. I think if you're familiar with the comics, he's kind of goofy in the comics. You know, I ain't gonna lie. But you know, the way it was played here, he was serious. You know, and there wasn't much comedy to him, which I was grateful for. So they went to the world of Galactus, the Silver Surfer, which is Shabala. I think that's her name. She kind of like led them to him. Okay, so that was the whole idea. And Reed Richards wanted to really just talk to Galactus and tell him, hey man, you know, we don't want you to devour the world. Is there another way out? But this brother said, I want your kid. Okay, and Sue was like, over my dead body, bitch. And they escaped and went back. So you've seen that in the trailer, okay? Now, the action, I was a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. This movie doesn't have epic action fight scenes, bro. It really does. Even the fight with Galactus, nah, man. Dude, I was expecting some crazy fight, bro. I didn't get that. I really didn't. So to me, it was more of the emotion and what the family is dealing with than action, you know. Now if you're into that, that's cool. I see why you liked it. I see why you like the film, but like I like balance. You know, you gotta give me, it's a superhero film. Give me epic action scenes. Okay, that's what I want. Now, is this movie woke? Absolutely not. Some of y'all wondering if this movie is woke. It is not woke. Okay. And don't worry about it. It's not woke at all. Reed Richards is the leader, because I've been hearing rumors, people say, oh, they try to make Sue. No, bro. Reed Richards is. I never perceived any woke garbage nonsense that the media tried to shove in our face. Johnny was Johnny. Don't get me wrong. I prefer Chris Evans' version of Johnny. I don't think this new brother beat that. You know, I mean, most of his jokes didn't really land. I felt like the Thing was more funny than Johnny, which is just odd. But hey, I'm all out. The Thing, it took me quite a while to get used to the CG of the Thing, because I know he's comic accurate, but again, y'all remember, not everything from the comic would translate properly into live action. Okay, his design was just a little funny. It was funny to me, you know, but the emotion was there. You know, they showed a lot of the emotion, which is kind of hard given that he's made of stone. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. The dynamic of the family relationship was good. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it was really good. You know, I thought that it was convincing that they've been a family for 4 years, you know, since they last got their powers. Now they went back to Earth. Okay, the way they escaped was kind of like funny, because Silver Surfer was chasing their ass, and I don't know if they sent her to the black hole. Like, did they really send her to the black hole? I don't know about that, bro. But the way it was done, I was like, okay, is she dead, bro? I don't think she's dead, man. Now, I wanted more scenes with Silver Surfer. I thought her background story was interesting, you know. I really did. But again, you know, Marvel just didn't really give us much of that, you know. And she, okay, yo, I'm spoiling this, okay? So I apologize if you guys, I'm spoiling this and I don't really care. So Silver Surfer basically just, she helped them at the end, okay? But we're gonna get there soon. All right, well, where am I? So they went back to Earth, okay, and they failed basically, because they failed to convince Galactus not to take over their world, and likewise to destroy him. So I was shocked that they told the public the truth. I was like, okay, I see the loyalty here, but like, you didn't have to tell them the truth, man, you know. Now they just think that you're a bad guy, you know. So the second half of the film, I felt like they dragged it much. It was too long, like, of a sequence, to be honest. I was like, okay, I'm just like, we get it, bro. You guys need to come up with a plan to stop Galactus. Can we just go straight to where he comes? Like, they dragged that shit, bro. They really dragged it. I was like, okay, I'm getting bored. I really got bored, bro. I got bored in the second half of the film. Man. I really did got bored. We had two persons leave the theater. Okay, just two persons. I was paying attention. Only two persons left the theater. I don't understand why. I understood why because the second half was just dragged so long, man. Too much emotion in this film, bro. Too much emotion, man. Again, I understand because it's Franklin. He want, they want to. Should they sacrifice the kid for the earth? I understand that, but like it was dragged too long. Cut it short a little bit. Okay, so pretty much after that, Reed came up with a plan to literally move Earth to another space location. Yeah, I said this. He cuckoo for cocoa balls if he thinks that would work. Literally, they built the machine and it kind of was working until Silver Surfer ruined it. Okay, so Silver Surfer stopped and destroyed all the machines, and Johnny talked to her, and she had a change of heart. The movie was predictable, y'all. It was predictable. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I know how this is gonna end. I really did. The thing that I was a bit confused about was because Thunderbolts, we saw the F4 in the MCU universe. Because I think this Earth was Earth 828. I don't remember it, but I think it was 828 or 823. So they went to the main MCU universe. I'm like, okay, did their planet got destroyed or like what happened there? So that was what I was thinking. I thought that's what would happen at the very end, but yeah, I was wrong. Um, so where was I? So pretty much Silver Surfer destroyed that, and she spoke to Johnny. Johnny was learning some kind of language that her planet speaks. I don't remember the name, and yeah, he was able to convince her that what she's doing is wrong. Basic compassion nonsense. And yeah, she had to change her heart. She flew back to the moon or wherever the hell she went back to space. And then later on, when they were fighting Galactus, she sacrificed her life for the Earth. Ah, so impressive that I forgot to be impressed. All right, yo. So I'm just gonna wrap this up because this movie, there's nothing much to talk about. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's absolutely nothing much to talk about this. Dude, the movie follows the same path as the Fantastic Four sequel we got. Okay, so if you've seen that, just expect the same thing. So, pretty much Galactus came to Earth. Okay, now when he came, I said, "This is what I'm talking about, bro. Finally, some action. Let's go." How I was disappointed. How I was disappointed, bro. Now, Galactus is larger than life, bro. He's huge. That massive scale, man, he was huge, bro. And the backstory of Galactus was like he was a man before. Really? I didn't know that. I thought he was a celestial, y'all. Wasn't he like Erishim? I don't know, y'all. Like some of y'all gonna trash me in the comments. Look. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan, bro. I'm not really. I'm just letting you know. But I thought he was a celestial. I might be wrong, but hey, I'm gonna do my research after this. So he came to Earth, and first thing he did was to smell the grass and trees of Earth. No, I'm not joking, y'all. He literally grabbed some dirt. Okay, smell some grass and tree and mud, whatever you call it. He smelled it. I was like, interested, and then he kept on walking. Okay, so he was just walking and not doing much. Okay, you seen that in the trailer when he had his big ass legs just walking down the street. All right. So everyone, the entire city, the Fantastic Four family evacuated them. So they'll be safe. And the trick was they wanted to deceive, Galactus by trading Franklin for the Earth. But guess what? They actually failed on that because the machine that Reed created that could send anyone to a different location. So they want to send Galactus to the black hole. I hope I explained this good. I don't know, maybe I didn't, but I think that's how I perceived what's going on. So they wanted to prank him basically, but Galactus, man, he was smart, bro. He saw it coming. It was like, oh, look at the humans, typical. And then he went after the kid. Okay, so the fight, like I said, he was just walking, and we have the thing, Johnny, Susan, and Reed try to stop him. You know, you seen it in the trailer. You know, like yo, you seen it in the trailer, man. Like the thing destroying those buildings. Those were just ways to stop Galactus. So I don't really know much. I don't know how to explain the fight. It was just there wasn't. It was just them. I don't know, man. There wasn't much fight. Like I'm just telling you, like there wasn't much fighting going on. You know. So pretty much, Galactus reached to the F4 tower, okay, and grabbed, Franklin Richards. I was like, oh, okay, we getting somewhere, and Sue Storm unleashed her true power, force field. So she unleashed the force field, and she pushed the big man Galactus all the way to the I call it the black hole machine, okay, or the teleportation machine. All right, just bear with me. I don't know what it's called. I forgot. So he tried to push him over to that location so Johnny could turn on the machine and send his ass back to the black hole. And it would take like 1,000,000 years for him to get back to Earth. So that was the plan. Okay. Now, before I talk about the final ending, okay, I like the part where Galactus stretched Reed Richards. I like that, man. I'm like, yeah, finally stretch that brother out, man. Because, they don't want to show us Reed stretching a lot, But I'm glad at least they gave us that Galactus stretch him so bad that bro was hanging on for his life.
God have mercy upon us.
I think they did that intentionally, man, because they know that they were not really displaying much of Reed's powers, So yeah, so Sue pushed Galactus to the teleportation machine, and Johnny actually just turned on the machine and they sent his ass to the black hole. Now there was a countdown about 37 seconds before the black hole shuts down forever, and Galactus is gone. So pretty much, it was about 10 seconds, and Galactus was recovering because Sue kind of like fainted because of too much force field. Basically, makes her just faint. So Galactus actually came out of the black hole, and Johnny wanted to sacrifice his life, but the Silver Surfer stopped him, and yeah, she just pushed the big man to the black hole, and that was the end of the movie and how they defeated Galactus. You're welcome. Very predictable, y'all. Very, very predictable, man. I was like, I know what's gonna happen. I was just like, oh my god, bro. Typical Marvel film. Look, I'm not mad, okay? Do you know why I'm not mad? Because I know what to expect with the MCU. I really do. Now, most people, they're gonna have a good time if they don't want something serious, For me, I wanted something serious and I wanted action. So yeah, I'm just different, man. Maybe some of y'all are different. So after that, I thought Sue was dead, but that was Cap. So Franklin, the baby, brought her back to life. Now we gotta know what's going on with Franklin, bro. How his powers work. This motherfucker can raise the dead. Like, bro, what is happening? He's too powerful, bro. I know he's comic. I know he can reshape reality. Listen, I know all that, okay? But man, I'm just curious how he's gonna work in the MCU, bro. He's too damn powerful. I'm just saying. Okay, so they revived Sue. Franklin revived Sue, and Sue was alive, and happy, boo boo booty boo. And that's how the movie ended. All right, that's how the movie ended. And first post-credit scene was Doctor Doom. Just a little snippet. He was talking with Franklin Richards. Okay, he was just with Franklin Richards, and they caught it. So that was the first post-credit scene. And then the second one, don't even waste your time, because Marvel thought that was funny, but just goofy shit. Bunch of cartoons of the F4 fighting villains. I'm like, I waited for the end to see this. Like, seriously, I was like, Jesus Christ, MCU, bro. Come on, man. Yo, I feel like superhero films are becoming ridiculous, man. I'm just being honest. Like I'm being honest. It's becoming ridiculous. Okay, it's not to be taken seriously anymore. What happened to the seriousness of movies? I don't even know if this is a cinema anymore, man. I don't know what's going. It's just goofy. It's comedy. Fantastic Four. It's emotional and comedic. Okay, there's a lot of comedy going on, even while they are making a serious conversation. Yeah, they put in a lot of humor. Now again, I felt like the humor kind of worked because obviously the characters, that's who they are. You know, like Johnny and the Thing, they're actually funny in the comics, so that worked for them. Okay, but movies like Superman, you try to make it funny, nah, it doesn't work. That's why people got mad. So I'm gonna allow it. Okay, but I just thought, need something very serious. Now, don't get me wrong, there were serious moments. I'm not trying to refute that. There were serious moments, bro, especially with Sue and Reed. Now, the performance of the actors, I thought they did a great job. My favorite was, this is a hard one actually, I ain't gonna lie. I would say my favorite was the Thing. Okay, I did enjoy the Thing performance. I thought he was very funny, man. Like he was good. I ain't gonna lie, he was good. I was happy with his performance. Johnny, I like Chris Evans better. So I'm sorry, bro. I don't think Chris Evans is just Johnny Storm to me. Like the way he moves is just different, man. This one he got shot on a lot of time, but Chris Evans, he shits on people, that's he did the opposite, but hey, he was good, don't get me wrong. And that thing with freaking the Silver Surfer being his girl, I don't know where they got that from, but yeah, it's in the movie, but nothing really took off, to be honest. So yeah, it just, now Reed, I thought I was gonna have a problem with Mr. Fantastic. I really did. Pedro Pascal playing Reed, but I thought he did a good job, bro. I really did. Like I thought he was convincing enough to be Reed Richards. I have no problem with that. But again, I still prefer the other guy that played Reed Richards in the first Fantastic Four. Now, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. She did a good job, bro. The emotion was there. Uh, she fine too. Just let y'all know. She did a good job. Her performance was outstanding. I thought she carried the movie like most of the times, to be honest. It's not woke, y'all. Don't get me wrong. She knows her role. She's not trying to be the leader or a boss bitch. Okay, she's just trying to save a kid. Like that was beautiful. Okay, so I'm glad Marvel didn't really give us some woke shit, trying to make the woman all powerful and shit, like better than everybody. We didn't. It's not in this movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not in this movie. So kudos. We love that. We love you for that. Okay, she did a good job. But I don't know if I like Jessica Alba or Vanessa Kirby. I really don't know at this point. I really don't know, yo. I'm be honest. I don't know. But I would say I'm leaning towards more of Vanessa Kirby than Jessica Alba. That's just my perspective. Okay, so if you've seen the sequel of Fantastic Four, the first one with Doctor Doom, this movie is very similar. It's just now they're gonna go into the multiverse. Okay, that's the only difference. So just FYI. But it was very similar. It was very similar. So I hope I touched on everything in this film. I'm gonna rate this movie a 6 out of 10. Woo! Okay, I give this movie a 6 out of 10 because, again, I did like the family dynamic. I was just disappointed with the action and some of the character build up. Again, movies, they're not gonna be perfect, but at least this was just watchable. Like it's more than average. I mean, 5 is average, so I'm giving slightly more than average. It's good. Okay, but if you want like a balanced action sequences and emotional and character build up, you're not gonna get it in this film. Okay, you're gonna get more talky and just them dragging the second half of the film all the way too freaking long. Too much talking, bro. Too much talking. But hey, if that's what you like, I don't think this movie will be a problem for you. But for me, I like action. Okay, I want action, especially if you're watching superhero films. That's why it's called superhero film. You want to see them beat some ass. You want to see them use their powers, fight. but make it balanced. You know, don't overdo it. But I think they underdid it in this movie. So yeah, man. I hope I touched on everything, man. Like I said before, this movie was way better than Superman. Would I watch it again? I don't think I will. I'm just being real. I really don't think I will watch this film again, bro. I think if I want to watch it, I'm gonna just watch Galactus and Silver Surfer, okay? Because they piqued my interest a lot, you know. I wanted to know more about Galactus and the Silver Surfer in terms of how they became who they were. You know, we know how the Silver Surfer became we know how she became the Silver Surfer. They kind of showed that, but it was very brief. I needed to know more. But Galactus, we don't really know anything about this dude, man. No backstory, nothing. He just said little words how it came to be. We need to see the origin of these villains, bro. I think that's very important so we can resonate with them, why they're doing what they're doing. But anyways, that's my review for Fantastic Four. I kind of spoiled it for y'all, so just I'm gonna keep a note that this is a spoiler review. So yeah, if you guys see this video, give it a thumbs up. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, and we are out. Okay.